So good morning to everyone. I'm myself Jyoti B, lecturer in Chemical Engineering Department in SJ Government Polytechnic, Bengaluru. So today I'm going to speak on the instrumentation and process control, which is a fifth semester subject in Diploma in Chemical Engineering. So which covers the subject covers the unit all 5 units. So in that today I'm going to speak on unit 1. So unit 1, the topic in that particular topic, the process variables and temperature and pressure measuring instruments. So after learning the process variables and temperature and pressure details about the pressure measuring instrument, the course outcome of this learning process, the student has to summarize the principle and illustrate the operation of the temperature, pressure and level measuring instruments used in chemical process industries. So on this topic we will go in detail. The contents which I am going to cover in this topic is need and scope of process instrumentation, measurement, application of the instrument systems, basic elements of instruments and function, classification of the instruments, performance characteristics, and in order to assist after learning all this, we will go through some of the multiple choice questions. So what exactly the need and scope of process instrumentation? So you people have come across many instruments wherever you go, whether it is at home or at a college level or in an industry level or in any the corporate level. So you find you will come across many instruments. The instruments may be if you take an example in the household itself, you will come across an hot air oven, the refrigerator, the many such kind of that. So what exactly the instrumentation is? So it is the technology of using instruments for the purpose of observation, measurement and control of physical and chemical properties of the material. So the instruments, we use the instrument in order to get a desired output. For example, if you use an oven in our kitchen, so the purpose of that is to cook and also the cooked items. So the instrument, it is a purpose of observation and the measurement. So if you want to measure the particular variable in the sense, if you want to measure the temperature, pressure, viscosity or else, you should have the, that also helps, that can be done by using the instrumentation. And you can control the properties also, the process variables, you can also control that we call it as the physical and chemical properties of a certain material. So overall, the instrumentation, technically we can say that is a technology of using instrument for the purpose of observation, measurement and control of physical and chemical properties of the material. So the process instrumentation mainly covers the measurement of variables involved in the process industries. As I have already said that what are process variables. The process variables may be in the form of a pressure, temperature, level, flow or the density or the pH measurement or the humidity or the viscosity of a particular material. So the process instrumentation helps in the areas of detection, then the acquisition, control and analysis of data. And also it helps in saving time and labor involved, better quality control, and it controls the quality of a particular product in a particular operation and higher plant utilization, and the whole instrument can be utilized in order to get a desired product, in order to achieve the quality controlled product, and better power productivity, material energy savings. And also the process where, as we said, the process variables are the temperature, pressure, etc. It controls the process. The process variables itself controls the process. When this process automatically controlled, it is an automatic process control. When the process needs an external assistance for controlling. So external assistance is a man itself. So then it is a manual control process. So this is nothing but when the instrument is being controlled itself automatically. We call it as automatic control process. When instrument, in order to get a particular product or in order to continue its operation, an external assistance is required, then we call it as a manual control process. So, as we know some information about the instruments, or what is instrument, we have learned now. So, by using the instrument, we have to measure the certain physical quantity. The physical quantity may be any process variables. So, so measuring the physical quantity, we call it as a measurement. So, the measurement, how exactly we can define the measurement? The measurement is nothing but it is a comparison of the given unknown quantity with one of its predetermined standard values adopted as a unit. So, what is the purpose of measurement? So, purpose of the measurement is required to it helps in the economics of the industrial operations, improving the quality of the product again, then the efficiency, and also helps in the maintenance of the operation. So, there are two types of the measurement. One is direct measurement and another is indirect measurement. How we perform the measurement, based on that, the measurements have been classified. So, in direct measurement, what exactly the direct measurement is? The measurement process and the purpose of processing operation are identical. For example, if you collecting the 1 liter of the water from a tank, okay. So, in this example, the meaning of the measurement value and the purpose of collecting the operation both are same. So, we are collecting the water, and how much exactly we are collecting? That is a volume. Volume of 1 liter of water we are collecting. So, that means the measurement process is 1 liter and the purpose is collecting the water from tank. Both are fulfilled and both are identical. In the sense, the measurement process and the purpose of processing operation are identical. Then the indirect measurement, that is meaning of the measurement and the purpose of processing operation are not same but are related to each other. For example, if you take the pasteurization of the milk, in this pasteurization of the milk, the pasteurization is being monitored by noting the temperature of the milk, which is indirect measurement because the purpose is the pasteurization. You are understanding? The pasteurization operation is being monitored by noting the temperature of the milk. So, which is an indirect measurement of, or which is an indirect purpose of pasteurization. So, that is we call it as indirect measurement. So, we know what instrumentation is, and by using the instrument, how can we measure? What are the different measurement systems we know? Then we will know some of the application of the instrument systems. So, application of an instrument system covers in the measurement of the system and process parameters, and it controls the controls of a process or operation, and it helps in controlling the process of the operation. And the instrument is being used to perform the operation on the measurement signals such as addition, subtraction, multiplication, and linearization, etc. And the instruments are used for conducting experimental design studies to supplement design and development studies. Then it also helps in controlling the quality of the products. And also, as we know, the instruments are being used to get the desired products, and so it is a help in the It helps in the manufacturing of the products as per the national, international standards and the specifications. So, what are the basic elements of the instruments and its function? So, as an instrument, we can, in order to measure a particular process, we follow a certain sequence is being followed, or the instrument is being consists of certain elements. So, the elements may be primary sensing element. It is also called as primary element. Then it is called variable conversion element. It is called the secondary element. And data transmission element, and data presentation element, and data manipulate element. So, the medium to be measured will go to the primary sensing element, and primary sensing element will sense the what medium to be measured. Then in an appropriate level, it converts into a measuring variable. So any manipulation is required, the way it is being done by variable manipulating element, then that is being transferred by the data transmission element, then it is the data to be presented. This is how exactly the sequence goes in any particular instrument. So what is exactly the primary sensing element? It utilizes the energy from the measured medium to produce a condition represent the value of a measurement variable. So it produces the condition which is required to be measured by the primary sensing element. So that is the primary sensing element. So variable conversion element is consists of the concentration produced by the primary element into a condition useful to function the instrument. So variable manipulation element is it performs the given operation based on the condition produced by the secondary element. Based on the, so it converts based on the output produced by the primary sensing element. So the data transition element is it transmits the data from one element to other. Then finally the data presentation element, it performs the translation functions such as signaling, registering, recording of an instrument may or may not involve all the element on and or any number or in any combination. So these the various elements of the instrument can be particularly understood, when you go in detail in the particular instruments construction working details. So that we will be learning later. So you know what elements the instrument consists of. Then the instruments are being classified. So based on the methods of operation, based on the source of instruments. So based on the various categories, it is being classified. So based on the methods of the operation, it is being classified as manual instruments and automatic instruments. Manual instruments are where the assistance of an operator is required. That is called the manual instrument. So example could be the resistance thermometer, Wheatstone bridge. Then the automatic instrument where the assistance of an operator is not required, that we call it as a automatic instruments. Example, mercury in glass thermometer. So based on the source of an instrument, self-operated instrument and the power-operated instrument. In a self-operated instrument, the power is being, in order to operate, operation of the instrument, the power is being delivered by either by physical or chemical action of its own. So mercury in glass thermometer. The power operated requires an auxiliary power such as electricity, compressed air and hydraulic supply, etc. So based on the external source of the power supply, it is being classified as self-operated instrument and the power operated instrument. Example is thermocouple gauge, works with electricity. So based on the arrangement also, the instruments are being classified as a self-contained instrument and remotely contained instrument. So self-contained means where all the parts of the instruments are being contained in one entire physical entity, or then in one physical assembly. Whereas in a remotely contained, where the primary, secondary and indicating elements, as we have learned what are all those in classification of the elements, they have been located away from each other, but they are interconnected each other in order for the operation of an instrument. So based on the function of the instrument, indicating type, recording type, signaling type, registering type, transmitting time and the manipulating time. So what is the indicating type? So indicating type, these instruments have some kind of a calibrated scale and the pointer. So any change in the quantity to be measured is indicated by the change in the pointer position on the scale. That is the mercury thermometer, liquid filled mercury thermometer. So any change in the quantity which we want to measure, that is being indicated by some other means. Here the indication could be by use of a pointer which moves on a calibrated scale for indication of the temperature. That type of an instruments we call it as a indicating type instruments. So example, the mercury thermometer. So the recording type instrument, they make a written record of values of the measured quantity against some other variable like time. So here these instruments operate in such a way that they record the output values with some other quantity such as the time, or it may be any other variable. For example, if a furnace is being cooled, the cooling temperature are recorded by the recording type instruments. The next is signaling type instrument. These instruments only indicate the values of the measured quantity, whether they are within the specified range of values or what. So example, level switch indicator. For example, if the instrument has to supposed to show a temperature about 70 degree centigrade, so this signaling type instruments shows that whether the measured quantity 70 degree or 60 degree or within that 70 degrees specified range or what. So that is a signaling type of instruments. Then the transmitting type instrument, these will carry the information regarding the measurement from one point of measurement to some other point. So example will be telephone lines. Transmitting only by the word only you can understand that this will carry the information regarding the measurement from one point of measurement to some remote point. For example is telephone lines. So manipulating type, these instruments perform certain operations on the values of the quantity. Based on the value, they try to manipulate in such a way that the output value is achieved. So example, differential pressure sensors which compare the pressure difference between the 2 points. These are based on the various functions. So we will learn what are the characteristics. So the characteristics are very important for any particular, the performance characteristics of an instrument are very important for a particular instrument for choosing the most desirable instrument for specific measuring task. The characteristics, by knowing a particular instrument and its characteristics of measurement or working or an operation, we can choose that particular instrument. So that will help in improving the quality or in achieving the particular output which we want, or measuring the instrument with an accurate value or a precise value. So the characteristics, overall the characteristics are very important for choosing an instrument. Are you understanding? The characteristics are nothing but these are helpful in choosing a particular instrument for particular operation for particular measurement. So overall what we say, the performance characteristics are very important for choosing the most desirable instrument for measuring the task. Measuring the task may be measuring any process variables. So there are two types of characteristics. One is the static characteristics and dynamic. The other one is the dynamic characteristics. So when the static characteristics are being considered. So these are being considered when it is used to measure the quantity which is not varying with the time. So it is not a function of the time. So then that particular instrument is being chosen. So what are the static characteristics of that any instrument is? It is accuracy, the precision, repeatability, reproducibility, drift, resolution, sensitivity, dead zone, true value, and the static error. So these are the various static characteristics of instruments. So the static characteristics are what? It is the characteristics of a particular instrument to measure a quantity which is not varying with the time. So we'll go one by one in detail what is accuracy, what is precision, like that. So accuracy is the ability of a system or device to respond to a true value of the measured variable under reference conditions. So how can we understand this? So for example, if a temperature measuring instrument its operation is to measure the temperature. So For a particular product, the temperature we have to obtain is about 70 degree, in the sense that accuracy of a instrument is ability that it should reach to the 70 degree centigrade. So that we can say that the accuracy is being defined as is the ability of the system or an instrument or a device to respond to a true value of the measured variable under reference conditions. The precision, you have to understand clearly what is the difference between accuracy and the precision. So accuracy, you might would have under plus or minus 1%, plus or minus 2%, that will go on in any particular instrument. Precision in the sense the exact value. If you want to get the 70 degree of that particular hot bath temperature, the instrument must able to measure 70 degree itself. So that is the precision. The precision is a degree of exactness for which the instrument is designed or intended to perform. Are you understanding? So then what is repeatability? Repeatability is a closeness of values among the number of consecutive measurement of an output for the same value of the input under the same operating conditions. So this is one of the characteristics of an instrument. That characters of an instrument is that it should produce the values of the repetitive values or the consecutive values of an output, the same value of an input under the same operating conditions. For a particular value of an input, it should produce an output. Think it is producing many number of output, so that the many number of output which it has produced should the value should be very close to each other. So that we call it as a repeatability of that particular instrument. That is one of the characteristics of that repeatability. So what is reproducibility? This is similar to the repeatability, but different operating condition. Here it is the same operating condition, but it is different operating condition approaching from both the directions, we say. So drift, what is drift? It is one of the characteristics of an instrument. So it is a variation in the output over a period that is unrelated to changes in the process. So the gradual change in the output after a consecutive measurement, we say, that we call it as a drift. So why it occurs? It occurs due to aging of the components of the instruments. It may be systematic, which can be predictable sometimes, or it can be random, which cannot be predictable, or the combination of the both. So that is drift. So what is sensitivity? So sensitivity is nothing but in order to measure a particular quantity, we have to provide certain input, right? So that is sensitivity is the ratio of the change in the output to the change in the input, which causes it at a steady state condition. It denotes the smallest change in the value of the measured variable to which the instrument responds. So that is the sensitivity of that instrument characteristic. So resolution is what? It is a least increment value of the input or an output that can be detected, caused or discriminated by the measuring device. So dead zone is the largest range of values of the measured variable to which the instrument does not respond at all after some time. So however the input values you give in order to measure a particular value, at the beginning the instrument can be capable of giving an output, but after some time the instrument, if it is not capable of giving an output for that particular same inputs, then we call it as it is a dead characteristics of an instrument, that is the dead zone. Is also called as dead spots or the hysteresis, which occurs with the friction in the instrument or any problem in the instrument, so that the instrument cannot give the output for the range of the values which you have given for the input in order to measure. So what is true value? True value is the errorless value of the measured variable. It is given as the instrument reading minus the static error here. What is static error? It is a difference between the true value of the quantity and its value obtained by the measurement. So now, till now we have learned what are the static characteristics, what are the static characters which are not varying with the time. Then they will come to dynamic characteristics. These are the characteristics of an instrument were are being considered when the instrument is used to measure the quantity or the condition which is varying with the time. So the dynamic characteristics of an instrument are the speed of response, fidelity, lag and dynamic error. So based on the characteristics it shows in measuring, it is being named or it is being classified as dynamic characteristics which is varying with the time. That is the speed of response, fidelity, lag and the dynamic error. So what is the speed of response of an instrument? It is the rapidity or the fastness with which an instrument responds to any changes in the input. So as we know, in order to get an output, we provide an input. So any changes in the input, the instrument should respond immediately, or the how fast or the how rapidly it responds to any changes in the input, we call it as the speed of response. Then the fidelity. Fidelity is nothing but it's the degree of closeness with which it responds to the changes in the measured variable. So the lag is nothing but is a delay in the response of an instrument to changes in the measured quantity and also called as a time lag. So delaying the response of an instrument to changes in the measured quantity. So any delay in the response of an instrument, if you make any changes in the input, the output, if it in output giving of an instrument is being delayed, we call it as a lag or the time lag. So dynamic error is nothing but it is the difference between the true value of the quantity which is changing with the time and the value indicated by the instrument. So that is a dynamic error. So now we have in this session you have understood what is instrument exactly and what are the type of different classification of the instrument based on the purpose, based on its physical assembly. You have learned the different categories of the instrument, what are the application of the instrument, what is the purpose of the measurement, and how exactly what are the elements which have been used in a particular instrument in order to measure, in order to get a particular output, and what are the characteristics of an instrument, and what are different types of the characteristics, whether static characteristics or dynamic characteristics. All these you have, I've explained in this session, and also I hope you have understood this session. So after understanding the learning, we will assess based on this, or we will we'll check out your understanding level after listening to this session by solving some multiple choice questions. So the in measurement and the process of the purpose, the first question is the measurement process and purpose of processing operation are identical in dash measurement. So you have learned the two types of measurement, direct and indirect measurement. Now you analyze what could be the answer. The measurement of the process and the purpose of our process operation are identical in dash measurement. Direct, step, indirect, or all of these. Are you getting the answers? Answer is the direct measurement. Here the measurement process and the purpose of processing operation are identical in direct measurement. I have given the example also by collecting the 1 liter of water from a tank. Do you remember? The second question is, the given operation based on the condition produced by the secondary element is performed by the dash element. The answers are data transmission element, variable manipulation element, primary sensing element, and the secondary element. To answer this question, you have to recall the flow or the flow diagram which I have given, the different elements of the instrument. Are you guessing the answer? Answer is the variable manipulation element. The given operation is based on the condition produced by the secondary element. After primary element, it will go to the secondary element. From the secondary element, it goes to the variable manipulation element. So the answer is the variable manipulation element. Third one is the mercury in glass thermometer is a dash instrument. Whether it is a self-operated, the power operated, self-contained or remotely contained. Answer is self-operated, or it operates by itself. So we call it is an example is mercury in glass thermometer. Instrumentation in plant offers the advantage of dash. Whether it is a greater safety of operation, better quality of product, greater operation economy, or all of the above. I hope you are all getting the answer. Are you getting the answer? So the answer is D. So any instrumentation in any plant offers the advantage of greater safety of operation, better quality of the product, greater operation economy, and all of the above. So dash is the static characteristics of an instrument, whether it is a response, time lag, drift, dynamic error. It is a drift. It is a static characteristics of an instrument. In order to answer this question, you should recall what are the different static characteristics of an instrument. Repeatability, reproducibility, sensitivity, drift. So there are 10 static characteristics of an instrument. So sixth is dash is the undesirable dynamic characteristic of instrument. For this also you should have an idea of the different dynamic characteristics of an instrument. The answers are reproducibility, dead zone, time lag, and static error. Solution is dead zone. Dead zone is a undesirable dynamic characteristics of an instrument. Why it is undesirable? Because dead zone, as we have learnt, is the characteristics of an instrument. It does not give a output at all after some time. So that is undesirable characteristics of a undesirable dynamic characteristics of an instrument. Which of the following factors does not influence the measurement accuracy? Static and dynamic error, reproducibility, dead zone, none of these. I hope you are getting the answer. The answer is none of these. So the measurement accuracy will depend upon any particular quantity measurement. It does not depend upon static or dynamic error, reproducibility, or the dead zone. So dead zone is what is dead zone? Dead zone is, the answers are same as time constant, same as transportation lag, maximum change in the variable that does not change the reading of the instrument. So it is the maximum change in the variable that does not change the reading of the instrument. So instrument having some kind of calibrated scale and the pointer are called which type of instruments? Whether it is an indicating type, transmitting type, signaling type, or recording type. It is indicating type instruments. So the measured quantity is being indicated by means of a indicating element, the pointer. It is being indicated by means of a pointer which moves on a calibrated scale. That calibrated scale is being calibrated in terms of any variable, process variable, whether it may be temperature, pressure, or any type of variable it is. So that we call it as a indicating type instrument. So the difference between the true value of the quantity and its value obtained by the measurement is called dash error, dynamic error, static error, true error, none of this. I hope you are getting the answer. For 10th question is static error. So this is In order to understand, you should thoroughly know the static and the dynamic. In order to answer, you have to thoroughly know the static and dynamic characteristics of an instrument. I hope you all benefited by this session of the process instrumentation and its type and what are the elements which are being involved in it, and mainly on the characteristics of the instrument. Thank you. So references for better understanding, you can refer these books which are being mentioned here. The Instrumental Methods of Chemical Analysis by B.K. Sharma, or by R.P. Vyas, R. Harriet, or A.P. Kulkarni. Thank you.